everyone, we got another wrestling predictions video for you today. AEW WrestleDream is this Sunday, and the card's looking pretty good. I'm going to run down the card, give my thoughts and predictions and whatnot, and that's pretty much, you know how it works. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. We're almost at 500, so if you want to subscribe and help out, I'd appreciate it. We're going to get into our first match, Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta. Bryan Danielson and Ricky Starks have been going back and forth over the past month or so, and from this feud kind of ending, we have a nice little match that has branched out of it, blossomed out of this feud. We got Ricky Starks, Wheeler Yuta. It should be a really solid singles match. I think this is where Ricky Starks gets like a, kind of a win to get him back on track after a couple losses to Danielson. But Yuta will put in a good showing, but I'm going with Ricky Starks to win this match. Next up, we have a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, and the winners will get a shot at the AEW Tag Team Champions. We got the Young Bucks, the Guns, the Lucha Brothers, and Hook and Orange Cassidy. Nick Jackson recently earned himself an international championship match against Rey Fenix, so, and they're also the Ring of Honor Trios champions, so I don't think they need this, so Young Bucks, I'm ruling them out. The Guns, it would be interesting to see how they've evolved ever since joining Bullet Club Gold to have another match with FTR, if FTR walk out champions, that is. So that would be an interesting idea. We've seen Lucha Brothers versus FTR before, so I don't know if we'd have another repeat of that. Plus, Rey Fenix is international champion. And Hook and Orange Cassidy is just a newly formed team that's pretty fun. I don't know, it feels weird to have Hook go up against FTR. Like, Orange Cassidy and somebody else against FTR I could see, but Hook and Orange Cassidy, I don't know. I think the Guns makes the most sense, but I think we're going to get a solid kind of fan favorite win with Orange Cassidy and Hook coming out on top. The TBS Championship is on the line as Chris Statlander defends against Julia Hart. Julia Hart has gained so much momentum over the past few, basically months, but mainly the past few weeks. She's gotten wins over Sky Blue, Willow Nightingale. Chris Statlander has tried to come down to the rescue before, Brody King, stands in between them, blocking Chris from attacking Julia. I don't think Julia Hart is going to win this match. I just don't think it's her time to win. Chris Statlander, I need her reign because I'm a big Chris Statlander fan. I need her reign to pop off and go hard, and we need to have that reign go a little bit longer. So Chris Statlander to retain. Here's a match that's probably one of the more harder ones to predict. We have Eddie Kingston going up against Shibata, defending the Ring of Honor World Championship and the Strong Openweight Championship from New Japan. And while usually I would automatically go with Eddie Kingston here because he just won the Ring of Honor Championship, there's no way in hell you should cut his run this short after winning it only like less than 2 weeks ago. But it is Shibata, and he is the pure Ring of Honor champion or whatever that title's called. And it's Shibata, just a guy that you don't think would lose too often. But Eddie Kingston is super hot right now. He's been hot for a while. I think a win over Shibata would be a nice, somewhat of an upset win for Eddie Kingston, solidify his Ring of Honor championship run, and maybe they'll probably shake hands afterwards, show a sign of respect. I'm going for Eddie Kingston to win. Now we have Christian Cage versus Darby Allin in a 2 out of 3 falls match. I'm predicting not only the winner of this match, I'm predicting that this is going to be the sleeper of the show. Everyone's going to like it. But when the show's all said and done, we're going to be like, dang, you know what? That 2 out of 3 falls match between Christian Cage and Darby Allin was fantastic. Maybe this is where Darby gets the win. They are in Seattle. Maybe Nick Wayne might show up and do something. I think he's from Seattle as well. So maybe they'll have a little heel turn. Nick aligning with Christian Cage, unless a certain rated R superstar aligns with Christian Cage. That's always a possibility. But I love Christian Cage so much. He just officially won the TNT Championship in that triple threat with Luchasaurus and Darby Allin on Collision. And I want Christian's reign to last forever, if we're being real, until Christian retires. Have him keep that title. Have him keep on cutting funny, villainous, just amazing promos on his opponents. If Darby wins, I wouldn't be upset, but I'm going for Christian Cage to retain. Now we have not an all-star match, but a match that should be really, really fun. We got Jericho, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi versus the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita, Sammy Guevara, and Will Ospreay. Ospreay and Jericho have history. Ospreay and Omega have history. And I'm pretty sure Ospreay and Ibushi have history. All 3 of those guys with Ospreay in the ring, gonna create magic. Sammy Guevara, while his character might not be all there, this seems like a okay direction for him to go in, and he's pretty good in the ring, so there's that. And Takeshita is always wonderful. So this match should just be fantastic. It should be really good. I think the Don Callis family, to kind of solidify like who they are as like this evil heel group, even though I doubt Will be featured on AEW super frequently, I think it'd be good for them to get the win. But also, Ospreay got the win over Jericho. Omega's lost to Takeshita twice. So maybe this will be where Jericho and Omega get their win back, especially Ibushi, because he was in that trios match at All In, and they lost that as well. So I might be leaning toward the faces here. I'm thinking maybe we'll get Kota Ibushi pinning Konosuke Takeshita, And then maybe they'll follow it up with the singles match between Ibushi and Takeshita, and that will be good. But yeah, I'm going to go with Team Jericho, Omega, and Ibushi to win this match. Now, what was going to be a Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship match 2-on-2, it's a handicap match now. Adam Cole's injured, so no longer better than you, baby, just better than you versus the Righteous. And the Righteous have just been thrown into, like, the tag division in AEW, came from Ring of Honor, threw them in there, got wins over the Hardys, won that Fatal 4-Way tag match at Arthur Ashe, and now they have a Ring of Honor Championship tag match against MJF all by his lonesomeness. And while the Righteous aren't my favorite act, they're not terrible. I probably got to see more vignettes and promos from them. But MJF, he's going to be the star of this match for sure. He's going to hang in there 2-on-1. I'm going with MJF to retain. I just don't see the Righteous beating MJF. It would be a very let down, bummer moment. I don't think the crowd would be pleased whatsoever. And not in like a, oh, the bad guys won, let's boo them. But more in like a, damn, we really love MJF and you gave the tag titles to a group that we don't really care about right now. So I'm going with MJF to retain. Should be very, very entertaining. FTR defending their tag team championships against Aussie Open. And Aussie Open have been having some good-ish matches, mainly kind of squashes on AEW since officially being signed. And this is their moment to prove that they are big match players. They had a great match with FTR, I believe, last year at a New Japan Royal Quest show. I believe that's what it was. And it was a banger from what I heard. This needs to be a very good match to prove that Aussie Open are like big match players, but I do not think they're going to win. I just think FTR are going to win. I really don't have any reason besides I think another team will step up and beat them. I don't even think Hook and Orange Cassidy, if they do win, according to my earlier prediction, I don't even think they're going to beat FTR. I don't know who's going to beat FTR. Hell, for all I know, it might be Ricky Starks and Big Bill that beat FTR. I wouldn't be totally against that. But yeah, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, they're going to get the win here. Next up, we got Hangman Adam Page against Swerve Strickland, and while I'm a huge fan of both these guys, one could argue that Strickland kind of needs the win a bit more than Page. Page hasn't had a real big standout singles match since, like, hell, when he was AEW champion, I guess was probably like the last important singles match he had. Swerve should get the win here, but I could definitely see them giving this to Adam Page. I think Swerve needs to win more. I think he's super hot right now. The Mogul Embassy is a pretty fun group. I wasn't too high on them at first, but Princess Nana doing the dance, Brian Cage has been kicking ass, and the Gates of Agony, you know, I'm not too high on them, but they do some okay work. I love Hangman Page, and I wouldn't be upset if he got the win, but I think Swerve needs it a bit more. I don't think he'll take Adam Page's spot like the whole promos have been about, but I think it'll place him even higher in the standings in AEW. And in what might be the main event is a dream match, Bryan Danielson taking on Zack Sabre Jr. Now, I'm not too familiar with Zack Sabre Jr. I just know he's a very lanky boy who loves his submissions, and Bryan Danielson is a man who loves submissions as well, so these two are going to gel beautifully together. This match was supposed to happen at Forbidden Door number 1, but that didn't happen because Bryan Danielson's injury, and now we're finally getting it a year and a half later. This match should slap. I don't see Zack Sabre Jr. winning. He's not an AEW guy. I don't think him losing to someone like Bryan Danielson would really hurt his reputation at all. It would still elevate him in New Japan, and I think he wrestles on Ring of Honor occasionally. So I'm going with Bryan Danielson to get the win over Zack Sabre Jr. And there you have it. Those are the predictions. 10 matches. They'll probably announce 2 or 3 more matches for 0 Hour. Maybe we'll get Keith Lee and Shane Taylor, something like that. They've been having promos. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you enjoy WrestleDream. It looks like it's going to be a really good show. I think there's maybe only like one match on this show that I'm not too hyped for. And I guess that's Ricky Starks and Wheeler Yuta, only because it just got added to the card, but it's still gonna be a really good match. I will see you when I see you. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.